I just came back from my first concert, which was Chappell Roan at Forest Hill Stadium in Queens. I have a very interesting relationship with Chappell. We haven't met, but her music really helped me during the past 4 years. I started listening 2 years ago to Chappell's music during one of the worst times of my life. Why am I smiling when I say that? But I did. Songs like Pink Pony Club and Kink is Karma reminded me that there is a place where I belong, which is out back in the world with new lungs, being healthy. That's where I belong, and that's where everyone with chronic illnesses belongs. But when I would hear that song, I would always cry because I'd say, I'm gonna get where I belong, I'm gonna find my people, I'm gonna leave this bubble of isolation from COVID, from being sick, from dying. It was just so impactful, and it found me right at the right time. And it just really helped me feel like there is a future, and a good one, because I have good karma. And honestly, that's the only explanation I can come to for being where I am and surviving what I've survived, is either luck or karma of some sort. So thank you. I just spent the week in the hospital. They thought I had heart cancer. So that was fun. I had spent the past 2 months since I got the tickets obsessing over what I was gonna wear, the makeup, how I'm gonna get my pills and my insulin into the stadium, what merch I'm gonna get, how am I able, and even the biggest question was, am I gonna be able to do this? Am I gonna be able to walk a concert, walk a stadium? It was the most intense, physically demanding thing I have done since my transplant. And I feel so powerful. Now I was able to stand for 30 minutes in line. We got there really early because I was like, I am not missing anything. I want to be as front of the line as we can. I stood in line. When we got through, I saw the merch table and I ran. My mom couldn't keep up with me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this. How is this happening? So I just feel so much more confident now, having this new experience and knowing that I'm able to do things like this. But back to being in the hospital, they thought I had heart cancer and I had really intense stomach pain. There was like all of this stuff going on. And every single doctor I talked to, I said, I'm going to a concert. I will check myself out of here if I'm not out in time. And they all said, we are getting you to that concert. That's it. And I'm so grateful for my team for being so understanding. And the biggest thing that I have noticed, the biggest difference I've noticed with my team now than when I was a kid, and it might just be because I'm older, but they are so passionate and they get so excited when I experience new things and I'm able to experience new things. And that is just so special, and that just makes the world of difference, because it's not, you have to be super rigid about your pills, all this stuff. And they are like that, but they also are so into, you now have a life. You need to live that life. There are risks. There are risks every day. Walking across the street is a risk. Driving the car is a risk. Like, there are so many risks, but now with transplant and having a chronic illness, there are so many more. And I have always been so worried about that, especially dying during the COVID era. I would come into the house and I would literally take all my clothes off. I didn't care if the windows were open. But now I'm starting to like breathe more, in a sense, like I'm becoming more relaxed, and I never thought I'd be relaxed again, but that's a whole different story. But my team gave me some pain pills. They let me out of the hospital. I was okay. I don't have heart cancer, but I do have a blood clot in the atrium of my heart, which is also not great. But I'm on blood thinners and they're going to monitor it. So that was scary, but in my mind, the most important thing was this concert, and I was like, and that's just how you have to be with this stuff. things pop up every single day, and it's hard to tell if is this I'm getting sick emergency transplant scenario, or do I have a cold like a normal person scenario. Obviously heart cancer is a big scenario no matter what world you're in, but I'm still learning, and thankfully, let me find some wood. This is why I have a wooden headboard. I always knock on wood, no matter what I say. No matter where I am, I will find wood. But I literally left the hospital in New York, went home for a day, maybe 2 days, and then went back to New York for the concert. And we stayed overnight in Queens, and we stayed in the almost like Chinatown area of Queens, which I didn't know existed. That's my own fault, but it was amazing. I was walking around even though I was still in a lot of pain. But my mom is always saying, you know, body in motion stays in motion. You gotta work through the pain. And that's also another struggle, because is this go to the ER pain, or is this pain of being a human? It's hard to tell. But we walked around Chinatown. We had an amazing dim sum. I introduced my mom to soup dumplings, which I love. We had great noodles, we had great ribs, and we saw a really grumpy cat, and I'll show you that picture as well. It was just really funny. I thought it was hilarious, and I don't like cats, but I saw this cat, and he looked miserable. He looked like I did 4 days ago when I was in the ER, and then when I was in an ambulance for 3 hours going to New York. So for the New York portion of her tour, she was in New York for 4 days. The theme, and I love that she does this because it makes it so much more fun and easy to decide what to wear, is Kink is Karma. And I found that out, and I like ran around the house. I was so excited because that was my song. So I used to have a J2, and I had it for a few years, and they kept it in after transplant because it's hard to gain weight, especially with CF and then recovering from a major surgery. I had to push this awful yellow medicine that if even a drop, a little that could fit on like the edge of a needle got anything, it was stained, ruined, and it stank. So I had to push this medicine through my tube twice a day, and it made me super nauseous, and the smell was awful, and it ruined my cute pajamas. But I would get upset. Sometimes I would cry. It was an awful medicine, to be honest. And I would put on Kink is Karma on the TV, and I was like, okay, I'm here. My karma's good. This is gonna get resolved. This medicine's gonna go away. So is this tube. So I would push the medicine for the duration of the music video. I just went to a different place, and it really helped. Her music is special, I will say that, because there are so many different things she sings about, and you could apply it to anything, but for me, it just really spoke to me during these times that were really hard in my life. So when I found out the theme, I was like, okay, I have to change my outfit. So I will show you a picture and a video explaining my outfit. Okay, makeup is done. This is the outfit. I wanted to make sure I'm comfortable. I chose this shirt. So funny story, this shirt has like a really long history. I got this about a year and some change ago, and I wore it to meet my transplant center for the first time. And this was kind of like meeting them and how to see if they would basically accept me for a lung transplant. So I love this shirt, and every time I look at it, I remember my doctor telling me, we're gonna get you lungs and we're gonna keep you going for 20 years. So this is like my good luck safety shirt. But also the theme is Kink is Karma for tonight because we're in New York and it's night 4. This is 4. And we've got the animal print. This is just fun patterns, because when I think of her, I just think of fun, and I think of patterns and colors and everything. I've got black in the stockings, well, the fishnets because of the video. And then to finish it off, I painted my nails, which is really hard because my hands shake so much, but I did it. They are polka dots, like the clown in Kinkus Karma. So that was a fun activity. Not at all very frustrating, but it worked out. Red lips, because that's bold. She's always got a nice color on. Plus I love red and glitter, because what else would you wear? So we are literally now just waiting for our Uber to go to the concert for Chappell Roan. And I don't know what to do with myself. I literally have been walking back and forth like an anxious dog. We got to the stadium, as I mentioned, early. We got there at like 4:15. The doors opened at 5, and I recommend going early because there's already a line. So we were in line. It was good. I was standing. I stood there for like 45 minutes. My mom was like, "Do you want to sit? Do you want to see if we can find a chair?" And I said, "Nope. I'm good. I'm here. I'm happy." I think it was a mix of pain pills, adrenaline, and whatever else was happening at the time that really got me through this. And the merch line was it was getting long. I saw it. I beelined it. I have not moved that fast in almost 6 years. I think I ran. I know my feet lifted off the ground at one point. And I looked back because my mom was like, "Oh my God, Jen, what's going on? How are you moving this fast?" And I was like, let's go. I got this really cute shirt. It's the tour shirt. I also got a sweatshirt. It's so cute. It's in the wash. It says Chappell Roan on the front. I'll include a photo, but I'll also explain. And in the back, it has her being dragged by a taxi cab, like in the Subway music video. And I relate to the Subway music video so much because she got away. I'm thinking, I got away from those 4 years of chronic rejection, 4 years of hell. And she's thinking about a loss of her own, but I'm thinking of it as a gain of mine. Next, we bought seats in the bowl, and it was a great section, but we looked up and we realized that's a lot of stairs. I'm doing good with stairs. I don't think I would have been able to go up those stairs. And so when we bought the tickets online, there was not an ADA section, which is the American Disability Act, which is supposed to help people with disabilities, honestly. That's what it's supposed to do. And so we went to the Forest Hills ADA section to ask them, "Is there any way you can help us out? I just had a lung transplant. I cannot do those stairs." We were on like row QQ, so really, really high up. The wonderful lady was like, "Oh my gosh, honey, let me go look." She looked and she said, "I think we have something for you." We were front row, as close as possible as you can get, in club seats, with the leather back, with the cup holder, of everything. You could not have been closer to her in that stadium, and I cannot thank the Forest Hills Stadium employees and the ADA section enough. And if you do have a disability of any kind, definitely ask about ADA. Don't be afraid. I know it's like another hassle, but why not? I hate when people say they say play the CF card. That is so rude. That is so reductive. It's not like this is something I want. This is not a good exchange. But on the other hand, I have been through so much and I cannot climb those stairs. They helped me out. And I played the disability card, I guess, whatever you want to call it, because I do have that card. It is in my wallet, and it's been in my wallet for 23 years. I never use it, but I finally used it, and I'm so glad I did. Do not be ashamed about asking for help, and I just can't thank the Forest Hills Stadium enough for those amazing seats. It really made everything so special. The opener was Japanese Breakfast. I have heard some of their music before, and I was so excited to see them live. Oh, gorgeous band. It was so great. The lights, she had this beautiful little shell behind her, like a clam shell. It was so gorgeous. I will include a video of some of their opening act. Definitely check them out. And I'm going to show you some vids I took during the concert of the performance. I even talked with my mom afterwards, and she said, "I've been to a lot of concerts, but that was amazing. That was a show." And she has a beautiful voice. I don't know what else I could say, except I had literally the time of my life. And this was also sort of another 1-year anniversary gift from my mom, because she knew how much that music helped me get through this. We were still talking about it. We talked about it this morning, and she's like, I have never seen anything like that. It was so well done. The outfits, it was everything I dreamed it would be. So enjoy some of these clips that I took. Chappell, don't be mad. And lastly, I am immunocompromised because I have an organ transplant. We take pills to dumb down our immune system to protect our transplanted organs. That leaves me open to infections, viruses, bacteria, everything there is. And that's dangerous, it's scary. And one way that we have always dealt with it is by wearing a mask. Since I was a kid, anytime I went into the hospital or to see a CF clinic, I wore a mask, because even back then, I always explained it as, in my lungs there's a spider web. It's so sticky in there. Any virus or bug that flies in there is going to get stuck and make me very sick. So I've been wearing masks my entire life. And when COVID happened, it was a big shock to people that they had to wear a mask. I was prepared. I've been training. And I still do wear a mask in not uncomfortable, but crowded situations, just like a concert. But I was in the front row, so there was no one in front of me, no bacteria coming in front of me. And I was so glad because I got to sing at the top of my lungs without something in my face. But I had seen videos of, at the end of the concert, everyone rushing out because they close at 10. So, being me, I bedazzled a mask. We jumped out of our seats the moment the lights went off because we did not want to be stuck on that. So it was very sparse in the video, but it quickly filled up. When I got home from the concert, well, when I got back to the hotel, I took a shower to get the rainwater off because we were kind of wet, but it was fine. It was so much fun, even when it rained halfway through for a little bit. I took a video after my shower, so I look a little crazy, and I want to play it for you just so you could see my actual thoughts immediately after. Okay, the concert was amazing. That was actually my first concert, and I can't think of a better one. I saw, well, she played basically her whole discography, I think that's the word, but every song that I've listened to the past 2 years that has gotten me through all this bad shit with transplant and life, I saw it all, and I got some of them on video to replay on my darkest days. So I want to thank Forest Hills Theater for being so accommodating with ADA, and for Chappell for putting on a great show even in the rain. Every day I find new ways that my body is working, and after so long of finding ways that my body is not, it feels amazing. I walked so much. I can't tell you how much I walked. And I think I mentioned earlier, but I ran to the merch table. I don't mess around with that stuff, and I ran. My mom couldn't keep up with me. I never thought this was possible. And I hate myself for saying that because I want to say jinx, 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 and I'm knocking on wood. But all I need is a little love and a little air, like Chappell says. So I just took a shower just to get the concert off me, and because it rained, a lot of people don't know, but if you're immunocompromised, rain, any like earth, wind, fire, rain is really bad. There can be bad bugs. So I scrubbed and got all the glitter off, which was easier than I thought, but I'm clean. I'm wearing a shirt my great friends made for me at my lungiversary. And I'm so thankful to my mom for getting these tickets. I'm gonna eat my leftover dim sum and trying to go to bed, but I'm too excited. So, like and subscribe to see more of my life after transplant. Well, my second double lung transplant, and cancer, and diabetes, and gastroparesis. I know I'm missing something, but this is a great night, and I want to thank my donors for getting me here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to @JenCan'tBreathe.